mercenaries, really, that's the double M. Born baller, baby boy, I be above the rim.
What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Good question, but I don't really care about who respects me and who don't respect me. Like, if you don't respect me, then I'll make you respect me when I play you. Like, if you don't respect me, then when I play you after the game, you're going to respect me. So,
yeah, with a guy like that, you can't stress about him scoring. Like, that's what he going to do. Motherfucker, Sam 280 pounds. Like, ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, shit, we put 4 people on him. He still score the ball.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets.
Family, welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do. Brought to you, as always, it's your host, Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG, JustBlaze513. Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. The line is always open. Talk about it.
908-718-1592.
Merch is always ready to be copped. New flavors, new colors. Get your merch. Appreciate you, family. Joining me this week. Definitely got a fire episode in tune for y'all. One of my guys I've connected with in this podcast game, co-host of the Noble and Roosh pod, and always active in these Twitter streets. My man, Zak Noble. What's good, my brother? How you living?
Dude, it's been long overdue. Happy to be back, and I've missed you, and can't wait to finally connect in person sometime here, but we've been going at this for a long time, so...
For sure.
Happy to be out here with you.
Most definitely, man. I gotta head up there to Mini, man. Gotta catch you
anytime.
For sure, most definitely. I appreciate you joining me, man. Let's get right into this action, man. So you know what time it is. It's time how we start off each and every episode, copping the dropping segment. Each one is always catered to my guests. And me and my man Zach here have had plenty of conversations about James Harden. So I definitely had to use him for my copping the dropping. So we know the Nets, obviously championship contenders, had a semi-slow start to the season. They found their little groove now, and now top 2 in the East. KD is leading the league in scoring with 29. Harden's numbers are slightly down this season, but he's still adjusting to the new rules. Kyrie's status is still unclear on when and if he's playing. Even with all that being said, expectations don't change for the Brooklyn Nets, as it's chip or bust since these 3 came together last season. So, Zach, talk to me. Copping or dropping this take. If the Nets don't win the title this season, James Harden trade should be considered a bust. Copping or dropping?
Ooh, that's just a hard hitter right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Talk to me.
Yeah, so simple math, simple answer. If Kyrie shows up just any time before the playoffs, if he's a full go, yes, I'm dropping it all day. It's brutal out here, but he's got to play. It's a talented East. Everybody's getting better. You got teams like the Chicago Bulls right now gelling, looking like chemistry is as good as it ever could be. And then you got one of their best players that have, I don't know, Vooch is probably playing 70% right now. And I feel like they got a long ways to go, and the Bucks are just a sleeping giant right now, coasting and exactly. So I think the Nets can win with or without Kyrie. Don't get me wrong, and I think they can win exactly as they are playing right now. Don't get me wrong, but because I don't think there's that great of a team right now. From what we know, the facts that we know, I don't think there's one true team out there that looks a lot better than what this Nets product do right now. But it always looks different come June. That's a guarantee. But I think the Nets are trending the right way. They've won, 6 out of 7 right now?
Yep. Top 2 in the East now.
Yeah, you take out that last game, James Harden in his last 9 before that last one, he's averaging literally 21 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, a steal, a block, shooting 47, 46, and 84 from the line.
He's been playing much better lately. Yes, he has. This one was a tough one for me because it can go plenty of ways depending on how you look at the roster and depending on what you expect of this Brooklyn Nets roster. But for me in particular, I'm going to cop this. This because if they don't win the title, I'm going to consider it a bust because that's what you brought James Harden here for. You brought James Harden here. Last couple of years, we know James Harden has always been on a championship contending team. You know about him in his years with CP. They were almost there. They should have won one of those years, but they almost got there. Getting here now, being here on the East Coast with the Brooklyn Nets. Some people look at him as the second option with Kyrie. Some people look at him as a third option with Kyrie, depending on how you're looking at it. And some people consider James Harden to be more of a facilitator for this particular team. But for me, I'm going to cop this because of the young pieces that they gave up to bring in James Harden. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We talked about Jared Allen. You had a good tweet about Jared Allen. And you said, I forgot what it exactly was, but I remember I responded to it that, look at me, I'm forgetting what I that
all good.
That they gave up too much. I don't know if they gave up too much or something about Jared Allen combined or whatever the case may be. But to me, basically, they gave up on a lot of young pieces to bring James Harden in, giving up Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie as well. They had to let go of him to go to Washington. And then now, when you look at the end of the year, we know Harden declined his extension. He can opt out to become, I believe it's unrestricted in 2022 at the end of the year. I believe it's unrestricted. So
yes,
he has a big decision to make and the team also as well. So I'm going to say for this particular question, I'm going to cop this because I feel like they have to win the title this year or else James will be looking elsewhere and maybe, I think he might, you know what? I think Philly's going to come after him strong and he's going to have a real tough decision to make this summer.
That's you're copping with or without Kyrie either way?
I think Kyrie honestly is going to end up playing by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think he'll be playing.
He's going to play, so that's why I'm copping because I'm hoping also that he's going to be there.
I commend anybody making a prediction on whatever Kyrie Irving's going to do. I will never do it again. Like that guy's about as wild card as they get. So
that's true.
I'm just only going to look at the Nets for what they are now. I don't even look at Kyrie being a part of the organization like they are. So it is what it is. But I found that tweet on Jared Allen and I said, through 7 games, Jared Allen is looking closer to the value of his contract than Michael Porter Jr., D'Lo, Duncan Robinson, Jaren Jackson Jr., KP, and many more.
And listen, I'm a big fan of Jared Allen, so I think to me they still haven't.
That was 9 games.
Yeah, and they still haven't found a replacement, an adequate replacement for Jared Allen. I know they're using the corpse of Blake Griffin. They're using at the center spot right now, using LaMarcus Aldridge, who both have been playing pretty admirably this season and last season and postseason, aside from Aldridge, of course. Nick Claxton has been trying to step into that role. But to me, if they had a guy like Jared Allen, I felt, me personally, before they got James Harden, I felt they had enough. With those young pieces, with Kyrie added to Dinwiddie coming back, we'll see what he's looking like now. To me personally, I felt like they had enough, especially the rest of the East.
That's a hot take. I definitely, I'd have to think hard on that one for a little bit, just because Karis LeVert's about as reliable as Kyrie. That guy can't stay healthy for his life. It just, there's bad luck. He got cancer. Shit.
Yeah, the
guy's got the worst luck you can imagine. But I personally think it was worth the risk because, that core, with or without KD, they promised KD that they were going to be star hunting. You know that when they signed him. He might have gone to the Knicks if he didn't, or somewhere else. But he got Kyrie, and I'm sure I wonder what his thoughts on Kyrie are.
I know, right?
He's been very diplomatic about that. So, honestly, you're right. Jared Allen would be the biggest key, and he'd be way more valuable than Joe Harris. I think, especially if you have Kyrie as the shooter. But they kept Joe Harris. It is what it is. They could use Joe Harris to go get somebody like a Jared Allen. Maybe Cleveland ends up really liking Mobley and they want to move Jared Allen again. Never know. I mean,
that could happen too. You never know.
Exactly. That's a great tradable contract that everybody needs a Joe Harris. So that's something to consider. But honestly, you're right. I think the only thing this team right now is missing is that center position and that big man rim protector. And defensively, I'm very pleased with what they're doing. I mean,
much better.
They're a top 10 defense right now. You can argue top 4, top 3. I mean, the numbers say they're number 5 right now is the hard numbers defensive rating. But I'm going to trust these guys. And KD, I don't think he's given 100% on defense. And KD, it's like
hard on offense right now.
Oh, he's got to work very hard. But they're incredibly deep on offense, and I'm not worried about it. It's just crazy how low scoring everybody is in the league right now. You looked at what they did last year, and their points per game is down a shit ton.
Yeah, remember their strategy last year was to outscore you. Every team they played against. So this year they have made a more of a concerted effort on the defensive end. So I'm actually very impressed by what I've seen with the Nets thus far, other than their semi-slow start, because it wasn't really a slow start. It was just they had a bunch of nonsense talking about the new rules. So let's move on. So let's talk about...
Let me ask you this real quick. Who's better than them right now that you'd have to win the title than the Nets?
Better than the Nets? In the East or...
anywhere altogether. I picked the Nets right now. Just by the way teams are playing, I'd say Nets are my favorite to win it all yet right now.
Me personally, I got the Suns.
Okay, you're sticking with your boys. I love it.
I'm still on the Suns train. I feel like they had a little slow start to the season other than that big Lakers win. But you see right now, they're on the 8-game win streak. They're playing your T-Wolves tonight. So we'll see how that game ends up turning out tonight. But to me, I think the Suns are still a complete team and they have continuity on their side. So I feel like that's really working with them. And the Nets also have continuity as well. So, and I also have as the second competitor to the Nets is the Heat. I'm really big on the Heat this year. I think that's going to be a conference finals, in my opinion, Nets versus Heat. And that's going to be a bloodbath, that one. So that one I would...
Jimmy and Tyler, baby. They got things working. And Kyle's numbers are like... His basic numbers look... Like, you look at those and it's just like, what is he doing? Has he declined a lot? And then you look at his percentages and the assists. And he's playing that Chris Paul role right now on a high level.
Yeah, he's been playing excellent. Like I said. So let's talk about your T-Wolves, dog. Started 3-1 start to the season. Been struggling a little bit as of late. They lost, I believe, 7 of their last 8. A team that's ranked pretty differently depending on how somebody feels about the individual players on the roster. They're bottom half in the West right now currently, but they had a signature win the other night going into the Staples Center, taking care of the Lakers. I actually enjoyed watching that win. It was a hell of a third quarter. Middle of the pack defense right now. Cat is giving you 22-9. I think he's top 3 in 3-point percentage, if I'm not mistaken. And Edwards, about to talk about him. He's giving you 24-6. D'Lo's giving you 17. But to me, it's not a real impactful 17 this season. So talk to me, Zach, about your T-Wolves. What were your expectations for them coming into the season? And do you feel like they have met your expectations in any way so far in this early season?
12 games into the year, it's a big hell no right now. My expectations are never very high for the Timberwolves. I mean, let's be honest, we're the worst franchise in the NBA.
Harsh words.
I mean, it's terrible. I mean, Sacramento maybe, but their longevity I think is a little better. But I'd have to dive pretty far into the numbers there. Detroit's won though. They've seen the highs of the highs.
True.
and they had the 80s and then they had the early 2000s. And they've been around longer though. That's the thing. We haven't been around as long, 1990, but my expectations were honestly coming in. I was really excited about this roster, just with top end talent. And I seriously claimed it was the most depth we've ever had since 2004. I truly believed that on paper before the year, watching Summer League, just the way last year finished, the 20 games our core had together. And outside of the year in 2018, I thought it was our best team on paper. That's the Jimmy Butler year since 2004. So 17 years in the making to get to this. We're 4-8 now. Beautiful. What a joy, huh?
Have you liked how the team has looked overall? Do you even like how they're playing? Have they even improved in any way other than that signature win against the Lakers?
I love that game, and I thought
early this season they were promising.
Yeah, but we beat some really bad teams. And I always say the beginning of the year, that first 10 to 15 games is when all the bad teams beat the good teams. And you look at Orlando over the past few years, they had some hot starts. Teams like Cleveland even got off to a good 5-game, 7-game stretch, and then they teetered off. But honestly, I said a successful year before the year. Wasn't anything crazy, but the over-under was 37 for us. I had us right around 42 to 44 wins, being in that 8th spot. I thought we could have been anywhere from 6 to 10.
8th spot playoffs.
I did. Okay. I had us over the Clippers. I had the Clippers on the outside. I'm looking pretty terrible on that right now. With that said, I said it was either that, winning a bunch of games, or else Anthony Edwards really popping off and making these improvements. And honestly, it's a Andrew Wiggins type year. So like, I'm not going to get, yes, he's way different than Andrew Wiggins because he's aggressive and he attacks and he's not just getting these empty calorie numbers, in my opinion. I think, because I'm a big mentality guy, and I think his mentality compared to Wiggins' mentality is closer to 100% dog all the time.
Yes.
And the difference is between Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns early in their career, Cat's been the same guy since he came into the league, and he said the same things over and over in his press conferences, and it's just empty statements, and it's just a bunch of words and no actions. And Anthony Edwards, man, what he says he does, and he calls it like it is. He calls people out. It's not just funny, blasphemous statements about all these sports he can play, but he'll get into it. He'll call his teammates out as a whole, a collective unit, and he'll tell you nitty-gritty details what's going on with this team. So he's a better leader than Karl Anthony Towns has ever been in year 2.
Wow, now that was a little spicy. I'm not mad at that. I'm not going to lie. I need to see a lot more aggression from Karl Anthony Towns. So I agree with a lot of what you're saying, man. So let's talk about Edwards, his progression in year 2. Last year it was 19-4. This year 24-6. He's been playing excellent to start the season. I think he was the only player with a 40-point game, with more 40-point games or something other than LeBron, Luka, and KD or something like that. After his after his career 48 against the Golden State Warriors, which was a great game to watch on his obviously his best game of his career. And it was now his progression in year 2. I really like what I've been seeing from him. He's attacking the basket with a lot more aggression this season. He's making smarter plays on offense. There are certain plays where I'm scratching my head a little bit, but he's still a young player, so I just chalk that up to growing pains. So he's been getting more aggressive going to the rim, and also his next step to me, I feel like, is not settling for some of those bad jumpers that he takes from time to time, but generate his offense more from the inside out rather than the outside in. So, and Edwards, I like how he has really progressed his game a year. So you could tell he's actually watching film and seeing where he can get better and picking his spots on the floor. So I agree with you. He's been showing a lot more also of a leadership aspect other than Cat, which is really like terrible to say, because how many years has Cat been in the league now? Is it
8, man. This is year 8.
Year 8. 8 years in the league. Yeah, it's coming up to a crossroads right now, getting for Karl Anthony Towns. You know, once a team drafts the next star to take them into the next couple of years, they start looking at that first star they had with a side eye. So I think it's starting to become that time for Cat.
Yeah, no, it's put up or shut up time. And yeah, I mean, we haven't done him any favors by putting the greatest talent around him. So you always got to put that into consideration. You feel bad for the guy there, but we drafted him number 1 overall. He talks like he wants to be that guy. He wants to have his own franchise. But it was about it's year 7 now to be exact. By about year 2 or 3, yes, he was putting up the numbers for it. He was talking that game, and I've never really liked his mentality, but about 3 or 4, that's when I kind of got wary of actions versus words type of thing and contradicting themselves. And the best players, all I'm not asking for much, especially in Minnesota here. Like, if you're a true number one, you can be able to drag just about anybody to that 9th seed, 8th seed, just right in that range. I mean, you should be able to make over half the league makes the playoffs every year. And that's what people don't understand when they say empty calorie players and players that are true number ones. Well, it's really the context and what you're truly asking from these guys. I'm not asking for a 4 or 5 seed. I'm just asking for 8. I'm just sneaking the playoffs, man. I mean,
playing now.
Ja Morant did it last year in his second year. I mean, give me that guy. That guy's a dog. I mean, and that's the type of mentality you got to have the keys to a franchise. Like, he's not it. He's a 3 or 2 at best. And I've said this from about year 4 or 5, that every single thing, every piece around him, the coach, the personnel, just has to be perfect around the guy to fit his game. I mean, we haven't had the perfect 4 or 5 next to him to even really see what he needs to play with, see what kind of coverage, defense, I mean, drop, switch, you name it. A great pick and roll partner, even. It's terrible, man. I mean, that's the biggest thing with us right now. There's no fluidity and there's no cohesion on offense. I mean, we're taking a ton of bad shots and Cat's not aggressive enough, and it's a mess. It really is. And it's going to be hard to correct. So until they start sharing the ball and playing together as one unit, and they claim it's not chemistry. They say that's a right thing. They say they're not calling each other out. But then when Cat's not getting back on defense, just there's video footage of it. Just terrible body language,
jogging back
slouching
on defense too.
You got it.
Yeah, I saw him doing that quite a few times. I don't know if you saw that video. I think of Edwards shooting, and then before he shot it and he's walking back on the, I was like, come on, Cat, man. Body language. Your troops, they see how you move on the floor, and they're definitely going to follow suit. So you brought up,
and he says exactly that. Yet he doesn't do it.
Exactly. And you brought up a good point too about the roster construction. I'm not a fan of the roster construction around Cat also as well. So they still haven't gotten that rebounding type 4 that they need to go next to Karl-Anthony Towns. Because if you're going to play him as a center, you got to have a big body type of 4 that can really clog up the paint along with him and really alleviate some of that paint pressure that the team is expecting out of Cat. So I definitely agree that he needs an attitude adjust. I would say it has to be an attitude adjustment. A little bit more aggression, but I guess you can't get that out of him the way we need to. I guess maybe he needs a little bit more Ant Edwards in him right now.
For sure.
Yeah. So when we talk about Ant Edwards, right? Coming into his own year 2, where do we rank him? Where do you rank him as far as 2 guards going on the league? Do you think he's a top 10 shooting guard already in year 2, or does he still have some time to get there?
So I truly believe, I mean, if Minnesota doesn't screw this up, like more than likely that we will, we won't put the right pieces around him like we do every other superstar we've ever had here in the making, and the right coach, you name it. But it's like, back to the Cat thing. D'Angelo Russell, the only time he was an all-star is he had the best coach for him. He had the best personnel set up around him. Everybody fit him perfectly, and him and Cat are the same way there. Anthony Edwards, on the other hand, I don't think he needs everything perfect to reach his full potential, but it sure would help. I mean, he's not the most intelligent player in the world, but he's working on it, and he's putting in the work to get there. But the thing is, what he lacks in intelligence, he makes up in effort and grind and just ability. I mean, the guy's a natural phenomenon. Let's be honest. I mean, going back to the question of 2 guards in the league, I personally think he has as high a potential as just about anybody outside of James Harden. But I think his ceiling stops at around top 7 player in the league. Will he ever reach it? I don't know. I don't think that percentage is very high. I think it's very high. He gets to top 12, top 15-ish. Your typical
2 guards or
no. Just player in the league.
Oh, just player. Oh, okay. High.
Yeah, he's top 12, 15 right now. Let's be honest, for 2 guards. So no. He's top 12, 15, 2 guards right now. He's not top 12, 15 in the league. Yes, okay. Hell no. I'm not that crazy. Let's be honest.
I was like, high hopes. Okay, Zach.
I think his ceiling as a player all around in the pyramid of the league, I think he can get to like a top 7, top 10 player. I don't think that percentage is very high of him getting there. I think it's more likely he's going to be in that 12 to 15 range. But as for two guards in general, I'd say...
You don't think he's top 10 yet this season? To me, around the top 10 is like SGA-ish. LeVert is around top 10 shooting guard.
Yeah, no, I'm two guards. He's probably closer to that top 5 to 7 range.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, Beal, he's not better than Beal yet. Yeah.
Harden, Levine.
Chicago. Levine, no, he's not there yet. I mean, I don't think he's terribly far off from Levine. To be honest, he's not there yet. But he's better than Sexton right now. Yes. Tyler Hero's close. I mean, Tyler Hero's playing really well. Defensively, I don't know. I might give that nod to Tyler Hero a little bit. But rebounding.
Wow. Did you hear yourself? Defensively, not to Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero is very underrated defensively, especially from a team defense standpoint. Yeah. I hate that he's not starting, but his efficiency is incredible.
Yeah, he's been excellent this season.
Yeah, all around game though, Ant is. I'd probably give him the nod. It's close though with the efficiency of Hero. I mean, let's be honest. Ant's only shooting 34% from 3 right now, and he takes a lot of them and a lot of bad ones. So then you go down to like OG's probably a 3 or Fred Van Vliet.
I would call him a 3. I was consider OG's a 3. Van Vliet, I got him as
wouldn't Scotty be there 3? Wouldn't Scotty be there 3 right now? And
I mean, those two are interchangeable, but yeah, you're right. He could, yeah.
So OG's more of a valuable player, but I think Anthony Edwards is better overall, wouldn't you say?
I would take Anthony Edwards over OG.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
absolutely
even if you
take
put OG
him.
in, he's better than OG to me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I feel like he's definitely top 10 right now. As I'm looking at the list and I'm remembering the top 10 off my head, I feel like he's around that LeVert range. McCollum is probably a smidgen better right now, but it depends on how you want your two guard. Do you want a hyper athletic two guard, or do you want a skilled two guard, or work more in the mid range? It depends how you value your players. So
I'm still taking CJ off intelligence, but it's not terribly fun.
CJ.
Yeah, I just the winning ways, but
SGA.
Phoenix. SGA is the real conversation. I'm going SGA for sure. I mean, look at OKC right now is 5-7. We're 4-8. That's one game apart, big deal. But at the same time, they're rolling right now, and we're reeling. We're struggling. Yeah, I think it's looking like we're probably right around that 10 range. I'm taking him over LeVert for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's. I won't say easily, but I think it wouldn't be that hard to put him in the top 10 to me. And you could some people can make a case for him being top 7, top 8, depending on how you look at your shooting guard hierarchy. So, and if you swap places with a few two guards, who knows? Their team may be better. If you swap with CJ right now, who knows if the Blazers will be better? You never know. So,
if he had veterans around him that are gritty, play defense, and I don't know, I trust Chauncey as much as Finch, even though I don't know, Finch has been around. I had a lot of high hopes for him, but he's just proven to be another coach right now. He can't get a hold of these guys.
I know. So let's talk for real. So let's talk about this 1-2 punch with Cat and Edwards right now. So we know we are thinking maybe could possibly try to get into the playoffs or to play in this season. So are those two, in your opinion, a good enough 1-2 punch to be in championship contention? Not saying that they are now, but those two as a foundation pieces, if built correctly, can those be your number 1 and 2 option for a championship?
Yeah, so I said 3 years ago or 2, right when Atlanta drafted all those guys and Phoenix got Mikal, DeAndre, and Booker. I said both those teams on paper, if they all reach their max potential, they're true contenders. And especially when Phoenix got Chris Paul, I was all in that they had the ceiling if they came together and they reached their potential. Minnesota, on the other hand, I think our max ceiling, if everybody reached their peak, if Cat was truly a number 1, even a true number 2 on this team. I think we're a conference finals team, and that only can get one game in the conference finals at our absolute peak. But that's just because I don't believe in our defense whatsoever. I don't think we can ever be a top 10 defense.
That's what Pat Beverly's brought in for, man.
Right. And he's had a couple of showings where he gets under these guys and they lock in and they can get after it. But I just don't see it being consistent when you got our main 3 or 4 guys being terrible, pretty terrible defenders, throwing Malik Beasley at our number 4 guy.
Beasley, man. His defense is atrocious.
Exactly. And you always follow suit of your best player in Cat. So it's tough, man. I mean, right now, I'll just take even 70% of that ceiling I'm talking about and just sniff the playoffs. But like I've said it for a long time, it's put up or shut up for Cat.
Well, yeah.
It's tough because I like the dude, kind of. He's not bad. He's an all-time talent.
You sound like you're ready to trade him, Zach. Am I here?
I am. Right? I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Now what are you talking about? Oh, so you're at that point now where it's ready for, it's about that
You
time.
got me to crack. You got me to crack.
Wait, so I remember I said to you, or we were talking, you said Ayton definitely wasn't enough. You said we need a lot more pieces than Ayton. What would be an acceptable return for Karl Anthony Towns for you?
Yeah, Phoenix would be one of my top choices for sure. But that's because yeah, it'd be Ayton and Cal would probably get the job done. And McCall.
Ooh, that might be a little steep. That's 2 starters.
Yeah, it might be tough for Phoenix to give up for sure. I mean, Minnesota might end up with DeAndre and a bunch of picks. Cam Johnson. We could talk there, but I'd say my favorite packages are definitely Atlanta, Toronto, Charlotte right now. I love what Miles Bridges is doing. I'd take him in a package back. Have no idea what the Knicks would want to give up, even though they're always chasing. They're always thirsty.
Yeah, they look.
Let's be honest.
They're looking at them. Yep. Well, you said you would like that Atlanta package, still like with John Collins?
I love it. Give me John Collins and Yeka Okongwu and Cam Reddish. Boom. Call it a day.
That's
DeAndre
nice
Hunter.
trade.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, they fit perfectly together. They fit around Ant. They bring defense. They're all positive defenders in Atlanta. I mean, Nate McMillan's done a hell of a job. And I think those guys are just set to, they're going to keep growing, especially if they get more opportunity. I love all those guys there, and I've said it for many years. But as long as John Collins is involved, give me 2 other players and I'll be happy. Trey and Cat would be the new Splash Brothers for sure, or Booker and Cat. They're really good friends. But that's why I just wanted Ben Simmons to try, because I think he'd be that perfect fit in Minnesota, but it's almost getting too late if we keep losing to not make it worth it. Yeah, it's now or never.
You're right. I look Thomas. So you would take Ben Simmons in the package for Cat?
No, not for Cat. I'd need Tobias Harris back for that.
You need a little bit more. Yeah. Because the 76ers, they're probably going to have to take D'Lo in the deal. You know they're going to leave guard regardless. So, I really like that Atlanta Hawks package. If they could get Collins, Reddish, maybe Gallinari throw in too, just as an extra forward you just have. And
they're so deep, man. They can give up just a random package, and they need to, in my opinion, just from a cap purpose, they're not going to be able to pay Hunter and Reddish.
Exactly.
They got Jalen Johnson and Sharif Cooper sitting on the bench, and they're never going to develop these guys to reach their full potential. Anyways, I've wanted them to go after Ben Simmons and Bradley Beal, but Bradley is looking really good in Washington. He's not even
stay.
Yeah, he's done. He's set. He's happy if they keep going like this. But yeah, they need to go get somebody and just kind of regroup on draft picks or go all in on a big like that. And see, the thing is, I think if they were able to hang on to a Okongwu or Jalen Johnson or Hunter or Reddish, they got defense around Cat and guys that fit where I think it'd work great.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's going to be interesting. I know they're definitely, especially if the season still continues to go in this way, they're definitely going to be looking at some packages for Cat. Maybe even by the deadline, I think they will.
My mentions are full, man. That's just people.
Yeah, for real. So before we move on, 2020 redraft, right? You still drafting Ant Edwards number 1, Ant Edwards, Wiseman, Lamelo going number 3. You still taking Ant number 1?
It's so tough. It's so tough because LaMelo's winning, even though his team fits and is talented, full of dogs and winners. I mean, Terry Rozier and Miles Bridges, man, they're just dogs.
Rozier, my guy.
I'm all about mentality, man, and these guys have it. And you got somebody that's smart that can play make like Gordon Hayward, Mason Plumlee, even like they just got. MJ's finally getting it done right now, and I hope they can keep winning. I really want this team to be good. I am going with Anthony Edwards, though. I'm still am. I just switched, to be honest. I've been Team LaMelo. Yeah, I've been Team LaMelo till he got that last 45 burger. I mean, one of 4 guys ever to be able to get that stat line of 45-5-5.
Yes.
Great efficiency, but we lost. So what does that mean?
Yeah, I feel you. So you sticking with Ant number 1?
I am for now. It's going to be a flip-flop. Ask me that in a year, I might be completely wrong.
I hear you on that. I'm going to disagree, man. I'm going to go LaMelo on that one. Yeah, but it is tough because especially this year, too, Ant Edwards is definitely making a case, and we saw he had the quotable, I think it was the other day or whatever, he said he doesn't care about Rookie of the Year. He's trying to get that MVP, which I love the mentality, as we talked about before. But I'm going to go with LaMelo because I'm a sucker for point guards. I'm a point guard guy. So I think LaMelo was, obviously was a great choice, but he makes everyone around him better. And that's been what they drafted him for. And he's done exactly that. So I think he would actually have been really good for Karl Anthony Towns. But Edwards is good also if they had another point guard or some other guys next to him that can alleviate their pressure off of him too. So
think about him in Golden State.
Oh, man.
Think about him in Golden State. I think about that every day.
Man. What? I know they feel like they're never, I don't think they'll ever admit that they made a mistake, but I think everyone knows they made a mistake on that draft.
No, it's historical. Monumental.
Come on. It has to be LaMelo there. Perfect. That would be perfect. So T-Wolves, what do you think about playoffs for your T-Wolves this year or play-in maybe?
Hell no right now. Hell no. I'd be happy if we had dropped our balls and finally made a big move, but it's not going to happen. There's going to be no cat.
Said y'all might try. Y'all could get there. Pat Bev said it.
If Pat Bev says it, man.
I don't know.
Nazarene was just on my show, and I mean, he says it's literally just all mentality, and it's just find it, go get it. But win tonight in Phoenix, and we can talk. My mind changes again if we beat Phoenix, but 4 games under 500 is never good. Yeah. I don't care what time of year it is. Who started that way? Phoenix started rough. They came around. Denver started rough. They came around. Dallas kind of, but look at their top tier talent, man. Look who they got.
The Bucks started off a little slow. They're starting to come around with top tier talent too, man.
Right.
I feel like many can make a push to the play-in. At least, give me 10.
If Ant keeps jumping, there's a chance. We have the talent to. I mean, we got 2 max players. Very few teams got 2 max players and a number 1 pick that's putting up stats almost better than MJ. So let's be honest.
Yeah, man. For real.
They better get it done.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Sky's the limit. Only one way you could go is up right now for the T-Wolves right now. I'll tell you that for sure.
I hope.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about some first-time All-Stars or potential first-time All-Stars that we see that could be on the radar this season. I think the first one, and probably pretty obvious, might be LaMelo. To me, I had him on All-Star watch coming into the season. I think everyone saw him progressing in this way, and I'm glad that he's been actually improving on that this season for the Charlotte Hornets. So they've been excellent. I feel like he made Miles Bridges better. I mean, he was already good last year, but right now, you've noticed how the leap that he has can. Do you think both of them can make an All-Star team this year? How are we feeling about LaMelo?
That's what I was going to ask you. LaMelo would be your guy over him though to make it.
Yes, for me, it would be LaMelo. For me, it would be Miles over LaMelo for you.
Right now at the moment, it's tough. But since Bridges' 3-point percentage went down, I mean, 2 games ago it was right around 37, 38, and LaMelo's trending upwards right now, man. 6, 7. 8 from rebounds, assists, 2 steals. I mean, Bridges got 2 steals, but I mean, it's the 92% from the line. Yeah, I'd probably go Lamelo because Bridges is just trending backwards right now. I mean, he was averaging 25 up until like the last 3-4 games. Now he's down to 21. Lamelo's going upwards. So yeah, it'd be Lamelo for me. He's got the ball in his hands more. And it's a tough pick though, because I really like what Bridges is doing, and especially defensively.
I think it'll be a little bit of an uproar though if they pick Bridges over Lamelo.
It would be huge.
Yeah, I think it would be an uproar. So I feel like the only way Bridges can get in is if they choose 2 All-Stars from the Hornets, and I don't know if they're gonna get 2.
The only way they do, you're right. Yeah, I don't see it either at this rate because they're only 8-7 right now. They're in the 8th spot, so they're a playoff team. But I think in order for both of them to get any, with the stats they have at this moment, they have to get up to like the 4th seed.
Yeah, that would be minimum, I would think, for them to get 2 All-Stars.
Right.
Minimum for them to get 2 All-Stars would have to be 4th seed.
Well, look at Jaylen Brown and Tatum last year. I mean, they were borderline playoff team at the midway point. They both got in, but they were both averaging 28.
Yep. And that was more so too over namesake also, because the coaches, they didn't know who to leave off for those 2, and they probably felt bad of leaving one or the other. So,
right, they're so close.
Yeah, exactly. So what about Ja? Potential All-Star. I feel like he has to be an All-Star. Are you in agreement? I would assume so.
100% Ja's in. 100% right now. Yeah, if he's top 10, they're number 8 right now at 6 and 7. They can't keep losing though. I mean, that matters. It really matters, and it matters to me too. As long as they stay around 500, he's an absolute lock. Because I was looking over this pretty closely because it got me intrigued. First time I looked at it this year, and there's 3 open spots on each side for sure. So from last year in the East, no Simmons, no Vooch. I don't think we'll get in. No Kyrie. And then from the West, there'll be no Zion, no Mike Conley, or no Kawhi.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Would you agree to that?
Gobert? Gobert might be out too.
He's been incredible, man. He's been incredible. This is arguably
make it last year. Donovan did both of them make it?
Yes.
Yep, they had 3 All-Stars. Last year, they had 3?
I'm looking at it right now.
That's ridiculous.
Rudy made it. Yep, they both made it. Yep.
Oh, and Conley? That's ridiculous. Them having 3 All-Stars. It's not happening. That's not happening again.
Right.
Yeah. That's going to be tough. 3 spots open? Yeah.
So I'll tell you, I mean, Lamelo would be my first one in for sure that didn't make it last year. Trey right now is borderline. I mean, his number, dude, his efficiency's terrible right now, and they're 5 and 8. They'll get there. I believe in Atlanta wholeheartedly. I don't see a world where Atlanta doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they have.
Just a slow start. They're 5 and 9. That's not terrible. Like, you look at them, they're the same record as Minnesota, but I 100% believe in Atlanta yet. I just do. With their coach and the dudes on that team is the best depth in the league. So I think Trey will get in, but he would be the only question mark, and Brown, so that could open up 3 to 5. Outside of LaMelo, though, Bridges close at the second one in at the moment. Then you go to Fred VanVleet, Tobias.
Ready to say Vleety. He has his potential. He was 19 and 5. I think he's averaging this year for Fred VanVleet. But their record might work against him though, because I don't think they're
7 and 7, 9 seed. They're coming. They're trending.
Yeah, I mean they could get an All-Star, because if you look, I don't think they're gonna choose Barnes because he's a rookie. They're probably gonna choose Siakam.
It's between Fred and OG, and
Siakam hasn't played enough games, so and I think Vleety would probably be the choice over.
God, I'd love to see him make it.
Yeah, that would be
undrafted, man.
That would be nice. I'm actually rooting for Fred VanVleet to make All-Star team, so I think that would be nice. I like him getting there.
He's averaging 27 and 5 right now, his exact numbers. 1.5 steals, shooting 44, 40. 83. That's all-star numbers.
Those are all-star numbers, and they're winning 500 right now. So I gotta. So let me throw one at you. Tell me what you think about this. Cole Anthony On the Orlando Magic, I saw a couple of people floating around to me. Almost 20, he's averaging 19 or something. What are you feeling about Cole?
He would be in that top 7. I mean, he's putting up the stat line to do it. It's just, will they get enough wins? It's going to be like an Anthony Edwards situation.
Yep.
And Cat for that instance. Cole, I love what he's doing, man. I love his mentality. He's a dog too. But the rest of that team is pretty hot garbage.
And he's it is. And he's tied up there with Ant Edwards for best interviews in the league too.
Yes.
Cole Anthony and Ant. So he's definitely someone's not. How about the Wizards? Can they have 2 All-Stars?
No.
Neal's going to get the no 2?
Montrezl would be number 2 though,
yeah,
right?
It'd be Trez on Dinwiddie. I would go Trez if I had to choose one. You don't think he can make it off the bench?
He's putting up the same stat line basically as when he won 6th Man of the Year or runner up. I don't know if he won or got second.
Yeah, when he was on the Clippers.
Yep. I mean, 18 and 10. They're good numbers, but that team is just well-rounded. They fit well. And like Kuzma's averaging 15 and 11 or something, 15 and 10. And so for sure only one. For me, though, I'd give, depending on where Toronto ends up, I'd give Fred an OG. But a guy I like over is I like Brogdon and Turner, man. I like Brogdon and Turner. Yes, I do.
Surprising. All right. As an All-Star. Yes. Which one? Both or?
That's the tough question. That's what I was going to ask you, who you'd pick right now, because I think they're going to be in the playoffs. They're winning now that the band's healthy. They're 6-8. They've won like 4 in a row now. They're definitely trending upwards. And Miles Madden is my defensive player of the year at the moment.
Man, he's excellent.
3.5 blocks a game right now. He's been incredible. And he's shooting 44% from 3, 14 and 11, like best rebounding year he's had. But it's just like him and Sabonis are gelling really well.
Yeah. Sabonis made it last year. So, man, I know he usually makes it.
No, he's made it twice, but he didn't make it last year.
Oh, he didn't make it last year. Okay.
No.
And the Pacers are going to be tough because they usually do have a sneaky all-star. And if I had to choose Miles or Brogdon, because they're different, because the catalyst of the offense is obviously Brogdon, but the catalyst of the defense, which they have been excellent this season, has been Miles Turner. To me, I feel like he's made the biggest individual improvement and probably the biggest individual impact on that team. Got the rookie Duarte playing well too. LeVert coming back playing well. Who knows what TJ Warren is going to look like when he comes back. Ooh.
So from an advanced stats perspective, I mean, Miles Turner is way ahead of the rest right now. By a pretty significant margin. I mean, he's got a 68% true shooting percentage right now, which is off the charts. I mean, that's elite. Decent volume, but his rebounding normally tails off. That's the thing to keep an eye on.
He's always been a poor rebounder. He always needed to better.
I got him coming on the show tomorrow, actually.
Oh, nice. Wait, so do you have Miles as All-Star? You got Miles making it?
It'd be that him or Tobias, really, or Brogdon. That'd be my next guy up that we're... It's crazy. These are the guys we're talking about.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, damn, these are tough ones to think. You know what?
It's fun.
Go ahead.
You know, it's fun because the first time All-Stars, I have a list of 7 that could legit make it. And Cole Anthony, I just don't see the wins being there. The hard one, let me really send you for a whirlwind here, is Cleveland Cavaliers. They're 9-5 right now. If they keep winning, which I think they're going to be honest.
Deserve one.
They're going to, just as a 4 seed, they put somebody in, and Garland's their best player, but I don't know. I mean, the numbers aren't great. He's like 17-7, 17-8.
Also not all, and he doesn't have the popularity or the fan fare as well to make the case for him or to make the hoopla around him. That's going to be tough for them to get. You know what? I think they might be collateral damage. I think they'll be one of the teams that have a decent record, but no All-Stars on their team because they can't choose.
That's fair. I mean, I can definitely see that, and that's happened a time or two, but it's just rare. I mean, I'm trying to think like the last one. Vooch. Vooch is the perfect example for that.
Yes. I don't think Vooch is going to make it this year. Neither do I think he should.
Right. I just saying bad team that got a player in.
True. Let me throw one more at you. Tell me what you think. Tyler Hero. I think he has a potential all-star. You're averaging 21 off the bench this year.
That'd be 3 guys. That'd be 3 guys in. The only way that happens is if Miami, they got to be the 2 or the 1 seed. They're at number 5 right now. They're only a game or 2 back. They could easily be the 1 seed. But Tyler Hero, so hard to put him in as a 6th man.
That is hard to do because, and also you would have to say he's been a better player than Bam has been for the Heat. Because, if the Heat are getting the All-Star, it's definitely going to be Jimmy. Just off of GP, it has to be Jimmy. Then after, you would say, are you going to give the Heat 2 or 3 All-Stars? And that would depend on their position. So they would have to be a number 1 or 2 seed, like you said, because they would definitely go Bam first. But Hero, he's got that popularity over Bam.
Right.
So that might work in his favor. It's going to be, I would actually love to see Hero make an All-Star team.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, Twitter would go wild. I'm not going to lie. Twitter would go wild. For
from being in all those trade rumors to saying he declined so much from year 1 to year 2.
And that the snarl picture from the bubble will come back too.
Twitter would be crazy.
Yeah, that definitely will come back.
That would definitely be the best one for Twitter, for sure.
Yeah. Anyone else do you see could potentially be a first-time All-Star this year?
So I'll move over to the West. We named everybody in the East, I think. The West would be Jaws for sure in, but on the borderline would be SGA, Ant. My favorite, though, is Harrison Barnes.
Ooh.
Year what are we? Yeah, year 11 or 12.
He's averaging over 20, right? So.
Yeah, he's 22 right now.
Out 22. See, look at that.
Career high, yeah.
And he said that game winner. I know he hit that dagger game winner against Phoenix, and it pissed me off. I almost threw my remote at the wall when he hit that game winner, man. But that would be a sneaky All-Star pick. But over Fox, you think they would do that to him?
He's been way, way better than Fox so far. I mean, yes. Fox's numbers, he's shooting 24% from 3 right now. He's been very, very bad from a numbers perspective. I mean, yeah, I think his defense has been fine, and I think he's trending upwards. But I mean, he's only shooting 41 and 23% from 3 right now.
Oh, it's gonna be tough, man. I think Harrison Barnes. I think he's gonna have a tough time making it. SGA, I think Ja's in off of popularity. I would think he has to be in, but SGA, I would love to see SGA in the playoff, but somebody definitely has to come. I think over Gobert, over.
That's the thing, man. There's 3 spots open for sure, and the list isn't very long, but you got guys that are on bad teams right now.
Yeah,
I mean, Ja's team is 6 and 7. Everybody we named right there, those 5 guys, like CJ McCollum, they got to win games for to get two guys in. Or
the Suns going to have 2 All-Stars. That's another thing to look at. They're going to have CP and Book, or maybe 1 out of the 2. That's going to be something to look at. Warriors, how many All-Stars are they going to have? It's the Lakers. Come on, they'd love to give the Lakers popularity votes, which they don't need right now.
Right. Russ didn't make it last year, did he? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't make it last year. No. And he shouldn't make it this year, so he shouldn't be an All-Star this year either. AD.
No, if he didn't make it last year, but then again, he missed a bunch of games up front, and he finished the year incredibly well last year. That team went to made the playoffs without him. I think he's getting a little too much hate this year, but at the same time, he's definitely not an All-Star. Let's be honest.
Not at all.
Chris Paul, man, you got him in right now?
I got him in for sure. He's leading the league in assists and leading the league in steals right now. He's leading 2 categories. That's worthy of an All-Star berth to me.
Yeah.
And he's been the best player on the Suns thus far. Book is clearly the best player, but he's still finding his footing. Yeah, he's still finding his footing in the league right now. His percentages are growing up. He's been looking better. But to me, Chris Paul has been that steady horse throughout this season. And the whole team has been up and down a little bit. But if I had to choose one, I would go CP. But yeah,
I mean, I don't think Devin Booker's numbers are that great right now.
And pretty pedestrian for his standards. Yeah, teams, 2 All-Stars.
Right.
There's gonna be a few teams.
I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me how Phoenix, man, are just rock solid. Like, their depth and their cohesion, that's what's keeping them. Nobody's going the F off or anything like that, and they're just grinding, getting wins.
Yeah, man, I really love what Phoenix is doing right now. So the All-Star race is definitely going to be a little sticky, definitely towards the bottom of that All-Star list. And I definitely gonna circle back and see which one of these guys actually make it. Harrison Barnes is going to be sneaky. I'm thinking about that. Miles Turner too. We'll see. And we'll see how the coaches actually.
I'd love it.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see. Before we get on out, any quick surprises for the season that you've seen thus far? Anybody you're rooting for towards the end of the season, or quick thoughts before we end on out of here?
The big surprise that we mentioned would definitely be Harrison Barnes there.
Yeah.
Cleveland right now, I mean, record-wise would be, I thought they had the talent to definitely be a playoff team, but it was like New York last year. I thought they'd be around 6 or 5 at best. They're sitting at number 4 right now.
Impressive as well.
And they're doing that without Sexton. I mean, they're winning a lot of games without Sexton, and Okoro has missed some time. So them in Boston, to be honest, would be the 2 biggest surprises to me. Boston's still 6 and 7. I'm not worried about them yet. Yeah, that would be my dream, is them to struggle and get desperate and send Jalen our way for Cat.
I hear that.
Jalen's my dream, man. He's my dream for Cat.
That'll be a hell of a deal. I'm not gonna lie. And I've been disappointed in the Celtics too, because I had them as a top 3. Did I have them?
Right.
I had them as a top 3 or 4 seed in the East this year. So they've 100% definitely disappointed me. But I'm still giving them time to grow and to gel into that unit. I love the Schroeder pickup over there. My man Time Lord Robert Williams has to come into his own a little bit better. Stay healthy for once will be nice, but I'm still expecting big things for the Celtics. So they definitely should be in the playoffs, and I think the East is going to be tight anyway, regardless. So it's really going to be interesting to see where the Celtics add up, and the Celtics as a whole in the East playoff race is going to be tight. So it's the whole season actually is going to be pretty tight in terms of record, and there's no clear-cut championship favorite in my opinion right now. Everyone can beat everyone.
So I never fell for it last year, and everybody's claiming parity all year, and I stayed pretty strong on that and said my tier 1 is really tight and small, and I was right about that. This year, man, I'm falling victim. Like I think it's just because LeBron's missing time, and I mean, he's aging. Every year matters to the dude.
Mortal.
But I do think he's resting a bit. I think he could be playing right now.
Yeah.
It's just how long. I think he'll be back as soon as the team is in panic mode or worrying. But yeah, I think it's really, really deep. I think the parity is strong right now. Loving Miami. I love Miami because Jimmy Butler's just the scoring stretch he's on. And Chicago, it'll be interesting if they ever crack my tier 1. They're a team that is one piece away. They might finish with a great regular season record, but I'll never believe it till they get that one more wing defender, or else a center that can rim and protect a little bit, because they don't got that either.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure they're probably wishing they still had Daniel Gafford back right now. It would be nice on that roster with that unit, for sure.
I would say they're a contender if they had him. I would. Yeah,
I know they would be, but the Wizards are benefiting from that right now with Montrez. So
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. This is definitely gonna be surprising this season. Zach, my man, I appreciate you as always for joining me for another edition of Above the Rim. It's always dope when we link up talking hoops, whether we on Twitter, where we here, we talking, or on text, where we talking.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you, my brother. And anything you want to plug before you get on out of you? You said you have Miles Turner coming on the show. Next one?
Yeah, please look out for that on Ball is Life, Noble and Roosh show. Catch me on Twitter. Always chopping it up. Me and Justin are going at it all the time. Having a good time on there. So interact with me. Let's have a good time and enjoy the season, man. Let's link up sooner than later this next time.
Yeah, let's do it. You know, this season is going to be sticky. And fantasy, man, come on. We know we got this race coming.
I'm struggling, man. I'm actually updating my roster. I'm trying. I don't know what's going on.
Time to wheel and deal, my brother. Time to wheel and deal. Get them trades through, man.
Michael Porter Jr., my biggest failure.
Yo, dude, man, sitting out right now. I can't believe that. I know. I had a tough. I got Ben Simmons on my roster, so I'm suffering right now. He's suffering.
He's the biggest surprise of the year, right there.
There we go. Just true. Zach, my brother, I appreciate you joining me once again. Family, this is episode 166, and we out.